you get fit, feel younger, and live better. We're going to give you some insight on how to live longer and healthier and to be able to enjoy those extra years. Today we have with us a kind of a really a special Y.E.S client. He's been with us almost a year now, and he had some real reservations. This is Roger. How are we doing today, Roger?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming in and spending some time with us. He had some real apprehension when he came on board with us. He didn't really know what we were all about. He certainly had some real concerns with life after work, because Roger isn't really that old.
Nope.
But he is planning for the future, as we all need to plan for the future, not just in our lifestyles like we've talked about before, but in his financial aspects, right? You got to think about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when Roger came on board with us, one of his biggest concerns, or one of his major concerns, was money, and to make sure that when the time does come to retire, not only will he be able to enjoy retirement the way he wants to, but be able to afford retirement the way he wants to. So give us a little idea, Roger, where you're at, where your mind was at when you first came on board with Y.E.S Fitness. Just about a year ago now. I think it'll be a year just about in March.
In March, yes. Well, I did the whole father, husband deal. You know, I had two sons that played all the sports in town here. You know, before that, I was very active. I went to Mills here. I played a lot of basketball, a lot of baseball. So I, you know, as a young adult, I was fairly active, and I did play those sports. And when the children came along, like they do, and they have to do their own thing, I kind of lost the ability to be physically active myself. You know, teaching the kids the sports and coaching for, oh boy, I don't know, I had to be 15 years at least, you know. It just kind of lost my chances and opportunities to be physically active.
Right. That is not unusual. It's a story we hear all the time. And that's really, quite honestly, why most of our clients are over 40. We coach most people over 40. Because when they're in their 20s and their 30s, they have other things going on, whether they just got married, they just bought a house, they're moving into their careers, they got young kids. And whenever a client comes on board with us and they are under 40, I get a little reserved about it, because I just know that all these other things are going to be pulling you in other directions. And then we hit 40, 45, 50. Kids are maybe coming out of college, or done with college, just starting their lives, and we start to have more free time on our hands. So we start to think about ourselves. You know, we're getting up in the morning, we're starting to get some aches and pains. We're thinking about, hey, you know, I used to be active. I know I need to be active. I used to feel great when I was active, but, you know, where do I go? What do I do with that? We start to look in the mirror. We start to sag a little bit. Maybe we start to see our parents. You know, at the end of the day, when we're done working in the yard, our back is. So I mean, it's all these things. So that before 40, yeah, you knew about it maybe, but you didn't really just didn't have the time. You just don't have the time because you have a family.
That's what it was.
And you raised a family, so that it became your time.
That's what it was. You getting out of bed, putting your feet on the floor, and, you know, asking the kids to help to go mow the lawn, please, or do something, because I couldn't do it. You know,
my kids hate me because we only have push mowers. They all wanted a sit-down mower, and they all had to mow the lawn at some point in time. And I said, nope, we're pushing that lawn mower. And I love to mow the lawn for some reason. I don't know why, but they hate it because I would always make them use a push mower.
Yeah, that was not part of my bargain. Get a rider, or else we're not doing it. But which is fine. But
yeah,
it just, and then, like you said, the clientele that's here, the fact that they are older. You know, I tried the gym back when I was 20, and it just never was my kind of thing, because you know you get the real muscle guys, and the gym rats, to use that term, but you know, wasn't my cup of tea. And then and Doug told me about this, and I said, I'll give it a shot. I wasn't sure. I tell you, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I got to be honest with you, Roger. When it came time at the end of your 30 days, I was like, you can ask these guys. I was like, I just don't think Roger's going to stay on board with this. You guys got to push him. I just don't think it's going to happen. I'm not sure he's seen the benefits, because you expressed it a little bit. You never really came out and said, I'm feeling great. I like it here or anything like stuff. He kind of was a little bit reserved about it. So I was on the fence. I wasn't sure it was going to happen. I'm glad it did. I'm really
wasn't
happy.
feeling good. That's why I didn't say it. But no, that was a big part of it too. Being on the other side and and having people around you constantly. The one-on-one is great, but I really enjoy the classes here. I mean, I can hide in the back. It's easy for me to disappear, but I always seem to get caught by somebody doing something. But
Yeah.
no, it's being amongst your peers, if that's the word I want to use. That's what's nice about this.
Yeah, I mean, there's other guys. There's Chuck in this room. We
Yeah.
got Doug on the other side. So when Roger came on board with us, just to make sure, he hadn't done anything in a long time.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, we train much different than we did even 5 years ago, let alone 20 or 30 years ago when we used to go to the gym. Everything we do is different. You got to stay up with the time. So when Roger came on board, this is to make him feel comfortable, to make sure that he was successful, because we don't want anybody to go into group exercise and not be successful. Make it easier for our coaches to be able to coach you when you went to group exercise. We took care of Roger on our semi-private side. So we did some private training with him. So we could have a few people around, start to get acclimated to our customs and our culture, and then we let him fly one day. We let him come over to the group room.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun over here.
Yeah.
Could never do that by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was actually part of it too. I'm thinking to myself, if I'm going to stay over there for much longer, I was not getting bored because it changes all the time. And that's another great thing. What you do here is never get stuck in a routine. Just when you get used to doing something, you switch it up on us, which is good because otherwise it would tend to get a little monotonous, like most exercise does.
Well, the studies will show you that you need to do the workouts 3 to 6 times, which is about a month's time.
Yeah.
And after that month's time, your body starts to get bored and your mind starts to get bored.
Yeah,
so if you don't go that month or so where you're doing the same thing and getting better at it,
right,
then you're not going to get the results. So just when you're starting to feel like, hey, I got this, and you know what's going to happen, we change it a little bit because mentally and physically you're really ready for it. So there is science behind what we do.
Yeah, because some of the exercises nobody likes anyway. We just can't wait for the month to be over. But a little bit of moaning, groaning here and there.
We got Sue's commenting here. She says, Roger, no hiding. We do, honestly, we have a great bunch of people that come here. We're blessed with the people that come in our door because they're all just like the rest of us. We know we need to exercise. We want to exercise. We like to have some fun, and it can be intense. Don't get us wrong. We do work hard. We do work hard, but we have fun doing it. Believe it or not, I was talking to somebody today that might come on board with us, and another client was talking to her, and she goes, it's fun. And the woman just looked at her like, how can you say it's fun? But she said, it's fun. It's fun to be around the people. Sure, there's some exercise we don't like, but it can be fun. Exercise can be fun when done correctly. You should not be so sore you can't go up and down the darn stairs. Right. You should look forward to coming here and meeting with friends and doing some exercise, getting some results, and then going home.
That's what happens.
That's what happens. So tell us some stuff that you like about our group exercise. Tell me some things that you've gained by coming to Y.E.S Fitness.
Well, first and foremost is the actual way my body feels, my muscles, my back. I had a back issue, and I did not ever realize how important, as many times as my wife told me, I got to throw it out there, how important your core is.
Oh, yeah.
I really just never, in reality, 30 years ago, I don't know if anybody really knew the absolute benefits of that. But with the amount of core work that we do in here, it really has changed. I don't have a sore back anymore, And then, without saying the actual exercises we do, the squats are really fun. The strength classes, everybody dreads the cardio workouts and stuff like that, but I get just as much cardio out of the strength classes as I do yeah.
One thing that people don't understand, and there's a shift here because in the 70s, cardio became the thing to do. And let's be cardio, let's get our hearts out. That's the best thing for your heart and all that kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, cardiovascular training is very important. But when you do strength training correctly, you will improve your aerobic capacity.
Yeah.
5, 7, 9%. If you're doing it right, if you're lifting some weight that's going to get you tired. And so if someone comes in my door and they say, you know what, I only have 2 days a week to work out, what should I do? Almost every time I'm going to tell them to do, depending on what the goal is, but I'm going to tell them to do, you need to do strength training twice a week. You need to maintain that muscle mass. You need to, for your balance, for your power, all kinds of, for posture, core strength. You need to do strength training twice a week, and you will improve your aerobic capacity. You're not going to be able to run a marathon,
Right.
but you're going to improve your aerobic capacity if you're doing your strength training correctly. And the type of exercises that we do, we don't do bicep curls and tricep push downs or any of that kind of stuff. Those are little tiny muscles that are going to make it easier to lift a beer. That's about it. They're not going to change your body. They're really not going to make you live longer. But that's the thing that people do out there. We do exercises that are very functional, for lack of a better term. Use your whole body, build some core strength. Everything we do here, almost every exercise we do helps you build core strength.
So you mentioned balance, as far as even like putting a sock on. I know you're supposed to sit down and put your socks on anyway, but if you get lazy like I do and you stand up, I can do it now.
That's awesome.
Put a pant leg on one at a time without sitting on the bed anymore. That can balance. My balance is way better than it was.
A lot of people will come in the door and they'll be like, I want to lose weight and this and that. And then all of a sudden we'll go through our functional movement screen. It's a screening assessment, so we can actually see how you can move and how you function, and that's really what we program off of. And they'll find out that the balance is lousy, and say, "Oh yeah, I really need to improve my balance." And balance takes a while to improve. It's not going to happen overnight, but you see it right there. And we didn't do any we got to help Roger's balance. It's just all incorporated in the kind of training that we do.
Yeah, I never even mentioned it. When I first came on board, I didn't think. Again, I didn't even think that was part of
Right.
anything that was going to really help me. But I can clearly see that now that my balance is improved, and I'm not going to go juggling and on a unicycle or nothing. But
higher wire acts, right?
know.
So Roger has made some changes I didn't even realize he was going to make, and he's made some gradual changes in his life. To come and exercise, we get here 3 times a week.
Yeah,
I mean, he's one of these guys that come on Friday night. Who exercises on Friday night? Roger's here on Friday night all the time. So that's a huge change in someone's life, to be consistent at the gym for a year. 30% of the people that join a gym don't last a month. You've been at it for 8, 9 months now, maybe 10 months.
Yeah.
That's a change he's been able to make. And because of that change, gradual change, he feels
well, what I really have gained. I know I'm physically stronger than I was. My cardio's, I don't even know what the word you want to call it is.
You can call it cardio.
Cardio. I can walk. It actually has helped me at work, because I carry a lot of equipment around through woods and stuff like that. And I used to be sucking wind and being in pain and stuff like that. And I tell you, I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
And that's only like 8 months. And if my diet is not where it should be at, I try.
It's one of the toughest things to change is your nutrition, because we've eaten the same way we've eaten for 40, 50, 60 years, whatever it might be. And that palate's not going to change overnight. But you have made some changes. You've cut down on your beer consumption, right? You're a little bit more aware.
That is the truth. I really have cut back.
That's good. And you're a little bit more aware where you eat. And those are the kind of things that over time that are going to change little by little for you. Then one day you're going to walk in through my door and say, you know what, Chris, I can feel my clothes are fitting better a little bit now. I'm eating a little bit less. I'm making a little better choice. And it's little changes like that, because to try to change them overnight, like yourself, it's going to be a challenge.
Well, we did that with the journal we kept. I tried to really focus on the recipes and the ingredients that were in the journal we kept. It's not easy. It's going to the store and getting things we never really got before. And you get, I wasn't the only one that had to buy into that. I have family members that had to, enjoy the same things we were enjoying.
Not easy.
No, it wasn't. We're trying to get back to that again. The older you get, the more I got to focus on. I believe, can't continue to keep shoving things down your throat and expecting things to change drastically.
You are what you eat. Better yet, you are what you absorb is really what we say, but you are what you absorb. And if you put the wrong stuff in your body over time, that will affect you. But you've made some changes, Roger. You should feel good about yourself and what you've done. I know I'm super happy because I know how you wanted to get where you wanted to be and how you wanted to feel when you came on board with us. And it happens. We just feel tired and we're at work. We're lugging along, and now you feel better.
I do. I really, really do.
So if someone was on the fence about coming to Y.E.S Fitness, what would you tell them to do? What's some of the best things about Y.E.S Fitness?
Well, if you're, I can only speak from perspective of my age and gender and what have you. There's no competition. It's not your typical gym where you're thinking and going there and you're going to get outlifted by a 22-year-old, because you will. There's no question about that.
We all will.
Yeah. For me, and I can't speak for everybody, but it's very convenient. I get out of work. I'm fortunate if I have regular hours, I can get here, and that absolutely helps my 3 days a week. And pretty soon I'm gonna jump on board Saturdays too.
Nice,
we'll see
nice. You got to join Chuck at 7:30?
I have a couple times. Wasn't my favorite class, but
believe it or not, that is probably one of our busiest classes of the week. Saturday morning is 7:30 metabolic classes. One of our busiest classes.
When I was in there, it was busy. That's probably why I stayed away. Take up too much room. No, it's the changing of the exercises month to month is key for me. You talk about the boredom. That doesn't seem to set in. I haven't been bored yet. I've got enough time to.
Yeah.
Too busy breathing hard to worry about getting bored. No, the staff, I want to mention that as well. Those guys, I turn my back and Brandon's putting down heavier weights, and he thinks I don't know, but don't tell him I do.
That is part of our job, to make sure you're safe, but also challenging yourself, because you can go to the gym and do some stuff, but if you're not challenging the muscle to get stronger, or to get better, whether it's the heart or your legs, then I'm not going to say you're wasting your time, but you're really not being as efficient as you can be. And if you're going to put the time into it, geez, you might as well be getting something out of it.
Right. I hadn't been doing that, for the first 6 or 8 months I've been here, but lately I try and push it and get the most out of it. And it's easy to do, like I say, you don't have to worry about anybody competing or trying to outlift somebody or something like that. It's really comfortable. You I don't know what else I was going to try and say, but
I forget things all the time.
I haven't gained anything there.
That takes a while to gain that, I think.
No, just in general, the comfortable atmosphere is what I like. You see people, I see people I know. I mean, that was part of the thing when I came here. Everybody thought I was like the governor or something, because I see everybody walk in the door. You know that guy too, huh? But,
it is surprising how many people come here and their friends and neighbors don't know that they come here. I'm not quite sure why that is, but almost always when someone joins from the town, they're like, wait a minute, you come here? You come here? Yeah, I know, we come here. It's,
Well, that was the other thing. And the majority of people I really didn't know, but now I do.
Now you do.
And it's fun. I look forward to exercising. Makes that hour and a half go by faster.
Well, I'm pretty sure, because we got Sue and Dory watching it, they're going to give you some crap when they come in today, or that won't be in today, tomorrow. They come in on Wednesday. They'll probably be in tomorrow, but that'll be fun. It'll be fun because you're a rock star, she says.
Yeah, that's far fetched, but okay.
Well, Roger, I really appreciate you taking the time with us. We certainly enjoy coaching you. We have a lot of fun in class. We have a lot of fun before and after class, joking around and stuff like that. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, it makes me feel good knowing that someone has made the gains and feels better than they have in so long. And that's really why we do this. And I appreciate that. My staff really appreciates the opportunity to coach you. That means a lot to us.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So that's all the time we have for today.
Okay.
All right. Roger's got to get to class in a little while. So look for us next Tuesday for more insight on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. And I appreciate you watching, and have a great night. Thanks.